Friends, in this video we are going to see about the ascitic tap. So let us see the indications of this ascitic tap and how this procedure is performed.
खाना वो तो नहीं दे सकते अभी ना।
नहीं, अभी कुछ नहीं देना है उसको। हाँ, सब बंद है फिलहाल। ठीक है, उसका टेंशन मत लो, कितना एमएल मत देखो।
So hello friends, in this video let us see about the paracentesis, also known as ascitic tap. So the indications of ascitic tap are in diagnostic purposes and therapeutic purpose. So for diagnostic purpose, we do this ascitic tap to identify the etiology of new onset ascites, example infections, liver diseases or portal hypertension. Also to rule out spontaneous bacterial peritonitis. Whereas the therapeutic use is to alleviate abdominal discomfort or respiratory distress in tense ascites. So the site for paracentesis, it is done in lateral decubitus or supine position. In lateral lower quadrant, lateral to rectus abdominis muscle in flank dullness. The site for paracentesis is 2 to 4 cm superomedial to anterior superiliac spine or midway between umbilicus and anterior superiliac spine. This positioning avoids puncture of the inferior epigastric arteries. So this is very important. To avoid the puncture of inferior epigastric arteries, we choose this site for paracentesis. And let us see the procedure now. So we have to first empty the bladder either voluntarily or with Foley's catheter so as to prevent the perforation of the bladder. And we have to place the patient in horizontal supine position with the head of the bed elevated to allow fluid to accumulate in the patient's lower abdomen. And we have to locate the site of puncture. We have to clean the skin with antiseptic solution, betadine, spirit betadine. Then we have to administer the local anesthesia, that is 1% lignocaine around the site of paracentesis. Then there are basically two techniques for this ascitic tap or paracentesis. The first technique is angulation technique, in which we have to place the IV cannula. We have to insert the IV cannula at 45 angle to the skin. And the another technique is the Z-track technique. After puncturing the skin at 90 degree, then pulling skin caudally before advancing the IV cannula through the soft tissue and peritoneum. So these are the two techniques for this procedure, and we can use 24 or 22 number cannula for diagnostic purpose, and for therapeutic purpose we have to use 20 or 22. For example, in this procedure we have used gray cannula, and also 24 gauge needle can be used. Now, what are the complications of paracentesis? There are immediate cause and serious or late cause. The immediate cause is ascitic fluid leak from the puncture site, local bleeding and pain at the site of puncture. Then serious and late complications are hypotension due to large volume. If large volume is removed, that is more than 5 liter, that is a paracentesis induced circulatory dysfunction, it can lead to hypotension. Then also hepatorenal syndrome, hepatopulmonary syndrome, bowel injury can occur, large hematomas, then spontaneous bacterial peritonitis can occur, hepatic encephalopathy are some of the late and serious complications of paracentesis. And the contraindications for paracentesis are, the absolute contraindications are, if the patient with evidence of active bleeding is there, or if platelet count is less than 20,000 per mm cube, that is severe thrombocytopenia, or if there is the PTINR is deranged, INR more than 2, multiple previous abdominal operations, acute abdomen requiring immediate surgery are some of the contraindications for paracentesis. Then the relative contraindications include distended urinary bladder because it can lead to perforation, intra-abdominal adhesions, abdominal wall cellulitis, infection at the intended site of insertion, severe hypoproteinemia, severe jaundices with hepatic encephalopathy. So these are the relative contraindications for paracentesis. So this was all about the procedure of paracentesis. So we have seen the indications, the complications and the procedure for this paracentesis. Thank you.